So I had a moment last night uh, with Brandy, and I was getting emails from Maston Kip. The Daily Love extravaganza is going on today. And the extravaganza is he interviews all sorts of New Thought leaders and what's going on here? Um, Impressive people, people that are that write for the Daily Love, and even people like Michael Beckwith and a number of people. Some people that I know, like Gala Darling, was interviewed today, and Gabrielle Bernstein, and all sorts of amazing people. And I've written several articles for the Daily Love, and I was looking at all these things, and last year I purchased all the downloads, and I really loved them, and I was like, I got a little bummed about, why wasn't I invited to be interviewed, to be a part of the extravaganza, and I think that I've talked in the past, but maybe not recently, about the pit, the treacherous, dangerous thought process of comparison, and putting your worth or your self-judgment as some comparison to something outside yourself. I think it's really dangerous in this modern digital world where we have perceptions of people based on the way that they portray themselves online, and which is often a highly edited and extra positive version of themselves, and it can get really easy to go, man, I am so messed up, or I'm such a loser, or how come I'm not? And so I was having this kind of struggling feeling as I'm watching or seeing these names, and some that I consider to be peers and others that I consider to be role models and inspirations. And I definitely don't think like, man, it's a no-brainer, I should be here. I think that I'm not well known enough, I'm not polished enough, or whatever. I'm okay with that. It was more just this, I started to fall into this place of like, and Brandy was pointing out, she's like, you're really not that good at marketing. And I was like, you're kind of right. Like, people always think of me as like this branding expert or as this great self-promoter. But the truth is, all I do is just produce stuff consistently for years and years and years and years, and eventually it touches on a lot of people, and so a lot of people know who I am. But like, I don't have an email list. I don't do I don't do anything actively to promote. I never did a podcast. Like, I never optimized my RSS feed. My web page loads very slowly and is not, keyword optimized. I really haven't done the work required if I was trying to grow. I just showed up and tried to be genuine and honest and speak my truth. And so I'm reminded of a conversation I had this weekend with an amazing DJ named Pumpkin. And if you've never heard of him, I would look him up online. He plays these beautiful remixes of older songs, and his live sets are just so filled with love, and everyone is just like having a good time. It's like sunshine. It's like sunrise movie or afternoon sun, like by the pool party music. It's just, he's got a remix of No Rain by, what was that band? Anyway, search for it. And did I go down again? No. All right. And so I was talking to him about, how important it is to not be focused on the size of the audience. And he started talking to me, and he told me a story that was exactly an image that I run through my head all the time. It was a turning point in my life. It was years ago. I was when I did the event Globalgasm, and was trying to get it popular, and we got MTV coverage and all these things like that. And then it kind of fizzled off, and I stopped putting much energy into it. Meanwhile, another group started something called Global Orgasm that was pretty much the same thing. Used a lot of the same wording, but they were way better at publicity, and I guess had somebody working on it a lot more. And so they got on all these radio shows, and so I started getting calls from people and emails from people going, "Hey, I heard them talking about your thing on the radio." And I was like, "No." Oh, that remix was by Blind Melon. Thank you. And so when I first heard about all these people that were saying, that were noticing this thing that wasn't me, I was angry. I was so bitter, and I was so why can't I have that attention? Why can't I get that bigger audience? And I was actually complaining to someone who was a friend and a fan, and they said, you're so focused on growing your audience and bigger that you're not even noticing the people right next to you that totally get what you're saying. And it was like this epiphany moment. And I just had this visual of myself on stage in a small nightclub with a dance floor full of people jamming out to my music, to my vibe. And here I am on stage, and all I can think about is, I wish I was playing an arena. And I was like, wow. If you are so lucky as to be able to share your truth and your vibe and your song, and someone dances to it, you win. That's it. Everything else, the more people that are dancing, is just gravy. And to get too focused on the crowd is to totally lose that connection to being in the moment and being present and sharing truth. You've got an agenda, you've got attachment. And I was talking to Pumpkin, and he described the exact same thing. He's like, he talked about some set that he played recently, and there was, because of scheduling, there wasn't many people there. But he's like, but if there's one person out there that's just jamming and that just dances the entire set, that's what it's all about. And I was like, yes. For me, it's a metaphorical song and dancing. For you, it's literal. And I think in a very similar way that people respond to him because he has this incredible genuineness and appreciation for that gift of being able to share and connect with people like that. And so, do I have fantasies of getting, I guess the only reason that I would want to be more established and popular was so that I could have more resources and more ability to, write a book and not worry about, but how am I going to support myself? but maybe I'll be ready for that when I'm ready for that. And, in some ways, I feel like this experience that I'm going through now, being able to be peers and work with really talented people that have strengths in all these different areas is, part of the path to get me to where I eventually need to be. Actually, obviously, it's part of the path it's going to get to me to where I need to be, but maybe where I need to be is somewhat like I visualize it. Maybe it's nothing like that. Whatever it is, I'm definitely on the right path, because we always are. And so, as I was frustrated last night thinking about the daily love and how I'm not one of the chosen interviewees and how I didn't get asked, I didn't even apply to speak at LIB this year, which was this weekend, because they turned me down year after year after year. But as I'm thinking about all these things, I was also had to remember that I just got back from 24 hours at Lightning in a Bottle. And while I was there, I had more than one experience where somebody came up to me and had danced to my song. And that feeling of like looking someone in the eye as they tell me words that I've said that resonated with them, or a heartfelt appreciation, or sharing some dark time that they were watching Hug Nations. It's a pretty deep and powerful reminder I'm so overwhelmingly lucky and blessed and honored to be able to walk the path I walk. And how crazy, how disturbed and sick it is to fall into any sort of comparison or wishing or attachment to something different. I hope I will always feel that profound gratitude when someone says thank you. And I hope that I always see every opportunity as a blessing and not something that I've earned or that I deserve. I kind of feel like everything in my life is way beyond what I deserve, which is the definition of grace. What? More than we deserve. We receive our blessings by grace. And it is through a surrender and a dedication to love that we open ourselves up to that. So I am thankful for whatever grace I am blessed by. And I am thankful for you who is hearing my voice right now. By your attention, you are reflecting back that love. You are affirming that love. You are reminding me of who I am when I get out of the way. And hopefully we can remind one another, recalibrate one another. And as we do so for ourselves, do it for everyone that we encounter. And then this rippling, that has been the theme in my life the last year. Ripples, ripples, ripples. Not the distance, the direction, not the size of the arena, the fact that someone's dancing one step in the right direction, energetically, cosmically, is the same thing as a mile. Maybe we'll make it a mile. Maybe that one step will inspire 1,000 people to go 1,000 miles. And so I have faith. And I cry because I'm grateful. And I'm overwhelmed. Thank you. I love you. Let's hug. Grab yourselves by the shoulders. And whatever our struggles are, let's sink into the cone and remember how much we have to be grateful for. If we have a pain in our body, remember how many systems are working perfectly, how much healing is happening in every moment. If we have a struggle in our life with that person, let's remember that in those struggles is our opportunities to see, to notice our hang-ups and our insecurities and our issues and ego frustrations. Those are our classrooms. And any struggle that we have is part of this roller coaster, this ride that we have chosen to experience because it is what we need to learn what we must to evolve, to spiritually evolve, to become deeper in alignment with love, source, truth, Christ consciousness, our Buddha nature, God, the universe. And so we have to be grateful for all the struggles and squeeze tight all the joy. And take one step at a time in the direction of our heart. Let's take 3 breaths together, in through the nose and out through the mouth. On behalf of Grandpa Caleb and all the love warriors, Happy Hug Nation, thank you. I love you. Namaste.